Thorne for the Oak Hills Board of Education. My name is Pam Schlesinger. I'm from the Oak Hills Advisory Council. I'd like to take a moment to go over some of the guidelines for the evening. Agendas and candidate profiles were available at the door and on the back table, if you'd like to take a look at some of those. Everyone should have an index cards for any questions they may have. Index cards will be collected and given to our screeners. Questions will be screened by an impartial panel. Our screeners this evening are Stan Rebush and Kim Breitenbach. The screening committee is responsible for reading out inappropriate questions and slander. Duplicate or related questions may be combined. Questions must be written legibly and will be asked by our moderator. Questions will be reviewed and submitted to the moderator. Moderator's ruling is final on the distribution of questions. Questions should be worded simply, focus on school district issues, not seem to favor any candidate, be both general or specific. At this time, I would like to introduce our moderator, President of the Oak Hills Education Association, Mary Berger.
Hi, welcome. Thanks for coming tonight. I'm going to go over a little bit of the ground rules for the candidates and how the night's going to work out. Each candidate will have no longer than 3 minutes to share your personal statement, and the timekeeper, they're going to have cues and signs that they're going to hold up for you. We're going to speak in alphabetical order, so kind of how they're sitting left to right will be Mr. Cooper, Mrs. Hunter, and Mr. Ryland in that order. Written questions will be taken back to the moderators, back to the screeners. And then if the question is directed to a specific candidate, other candidates will have the opportunity to respond to that. And then those questions that are not specifically directed to a candidate will be answered on a rotating basis. And then to see which candidate will answer first. Question and answers will be limited to 1 minute. And then at the end of the evening, candidates will be given 3 minutes for closing statements. You guys cool with that? Great. Okay, this first question is for all candidates. How many school board and or board development meetings have you attended in the past 2 years? Oh, you do, sorry. Okay. Sorry. I'm ready to go. There's a baseball on. Okay, we're going to start with Mr. Cooper. 3-minute opening statement.
Thank you. Hi, thanks for coming out tonight. My name is Paul Cooper, and I'm running for the Oak Hill School Board. I moved to this district in 2005 with my wife Heather and my 5 sons, Joshua, Tyler, Jake, Jordan, and Nash. We moved here due to the higher standards of education that Oak Hill was offering for the district that we were in. Both my wife and I are self-employed. Joshua and Tyler both serve our military. Tyler's currently overseas in Japan. Also served tours in Afghanistan. Jake and Jordan both attend the University of Cincinnati for Business Administration, and Nash is currently a student here at Rapid Run. A little bit about myself. I grew up in Colerain Township, where I attended Northwest High School. During high school, I worked little odd jobs here and there, supervisors here and there at shoe stores. Shortly after that, I entered the United States Navy, as I rapidly was promoted to the 2nd class petty officer and night supervisor over my ordnance shop. Once out of the Navy, I started attending the Southwest School of Business while going to the Sheriff's Academy, Hamilton County Sheriff's Academy. During my time with the Sheriff's Office, I received over 12 meritorious accommodations for crime solving, community service, and leadership. During this time, I also went to several schools, including FBI school in Redstone, Alabama. In 2007, I made a decision to start my own business, CR Landscaping, which I currently employ over 12 employees. Over the last 10 years, I've donated countless hours of volunteering at Dulles to help kindergarten through 3rd grade reading and with their math skills. I volunteer for sports, youth sports, concessions at basketball games, and I've spent countless man hours preparing the Dulles at Landscape for the first day of school, which now you can't tell. I've also donated countless organizations, including all the youth groups in this community, Rapid Run Choir, band uniform, fundraiser, the auditorium renovation, and several other groups in this area. Now I look forward to serving the entire community by serving as a board member. Thank you.
Good evening, my name is Jan Hunter. During my tenure on the school board, these are a few of the accomplishments of the Oak Hill School District. From 2000 to 2013, the Ohio Department of Education ranked Oak Hills either excellent or excellent with distinction for 13 straight years. The number of AP courses offered at the high school has expanded from 6 in 2001 to 30 in 2015. In addition, other course offerings have been realigned to meet the needs of students at all levels of learning. 363 high school students earned college credits through dual enrollment in 2014 to 2015. All-day kindergarten is offered to those students who are identified at risk for academic advancement. Since the initiation of the third grade reading guarantee, all of our students have successfully passed the test. The district initiated a partnership with Children's Hospital Medical Center to provide mental health services at the high school and all 3 middle schools. While other school districts are reducing services, Oak Hills continues to expand offerings in athletics and the creative and performing arts. There are 44 freshmen, JV, and varsity athletic teams at the high school. There are 16 athletic teams at the middle school. There are 48 activities and clubs at the high school. There are 21 activities and clubs at the middle school. There are 10 activities and clubs on average at each elementary school. Financial successes within the district include the following. 72% of our district budget is spent on classroom instruction. The district cost per pupil is $9,284, second lowest in Hamilton County. District cost per pupil for administrative staff is $1,173, and the lowest 25% for Hamilton County. From 2010 to 2013, administrative staff was decreased by 21%, and district office staff was decreased by 35%. The transfer of inside millage 9 years ago has allowed the district to create a permanent improvement fund, which includes replacing roofs to purchasing computers. The House Bill 264 Energy Savings Project will save the district approximately $77,000 each year over the next 15 years. And finally, the refinancing of the 1997 bond issue will save the taxpayers of this community $5 million over the next 10 years. Of course, none of these accomplishments and successes are done in isolation, but through the efforts of the entire
Mrs. Hunter,
school
your
board.
time is up.
Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Ryland.
I'm Linus Ryland. I am a proud Oak Hills graduate. My wife is also a proud Oak Hills graduate. We have 2 students, boys that are already out in college that are Oak Hills graduates, and I have 2 students here that are still, one here at Rapid Run and one at Oak Hills. I've been on at least 1, if not as many as 4 PTAs this is my 17th year. Ironically, 9 of those years as a president in one of those buildings. So I've been volunteering for a lot of years here. Very excited to have our family here at Oak Hills and be able to be a part of so many of the great activities. 12 years for those of you that are familiar with Winter Wonderland at Dulles, leading that wonderful fun activity for the kids every year at Christmas time. I've been volunteered here for Rapid Run's musicals, working as a technical director. And so I get to see the kids on a regular basis, see them learn, give them opportunities to do some things in our wonderful facilities by being able to be one of the many parents that are in this building. So I get to see firsthand both the staff and the parents' successes and their challenges, and I'm excited for the opportunity here to step up and do some more, be more of a leader with the district as a school board member. I have a degree from Miami University, where I went immediately after Oak Hills. I'm a systems analysis computer nerd by training, but I've spent the last 10 years with Hewlett Packard soon to be Hewlett Packard Enterprise as a financial analyst. I've been on the finance committee for the district since 2006 and have been attending almost every school board for the last 10 years as well as finance committee. So I'm really familiar with the operation of the board and really passionate about the school. So I'm hoping you consider me as one of your candidates here for Oak Hills Local School Board. Thank you.
Okay, so we're going to start with questions. Right now I have 14 questions in front of me. Good work. Okay, so this question is for all candidates. How many school board and or board development meetings have you attended in the past 2 years? What have you learned by attending these meetings? So we'll start with Mr. Cooper in alphabetical order. You have 1 minute.
Okay, I've attended probably close to 10 to 12 of them, 7 or 8 of them being this year. You learn a lot. Just speaking to Mr. Bain at these things, you kind of learn how the operations of everyday finances work. You'll be surprised at the things that Mr. Bain can tell you, especially with the rollback. People want to know where that money's coming from. You also learn the other aspects of what's going on in the district. You see the teachers, who's coming, who's going. You see the other aspects of the agendas are all on there with you get to follow all that with what board members are deciding for the future of our children. And basically, you just get the knowledge of what's really going on in this district. Outside of just not, some people don't have a clue. When you step into one of these meetings, you really get enlightened with the agendas that they talk about.
Okay, time's up. Thank you. Mrs. Hunter?
Obviously, being a school board member, I have attended every meeting in the past 2 years, except for 3 weeks when I was out of the country last October. So that's approximately 20 to 21 meetings every year. And of course, the meetings are held for the public to know what's going on in our schools, for us to talk about what's been happening and initiatives for what can continue to happen in the future.
Mr. Rudd?
I have attended all but I think 2 of them over the last year. I know I missed one due to vacation last July, and then another one that I came that was an executive session, and I had to get to another personal commitment after that, so by the time they came back for session, I unfortunately wasn't able to be at that one. Do particularly enjoy the development sessions. I will admit I went to a couple of them 10 years ago just to understand what more of the dialogue was, and at that point I was hooked. Actually considered running as much as 8 years ago at that point. But felt like I liked the opportunity to get a chance to speak at them. I typically speak at about 4 or 5 board meetings a year about an issue or a topic of concern to parents, so certainly been very engaged in the school board meetings over the last 10 years.
Thank you. Okay, this next question is for Mr. Cooper. Other candidates can respond if you choose. If elected to the board, would you remove yourself from the Little Highlanders, abstain from voting on any logo issues, or vote? You have 1 minute.
Both.
Any response, Mrs. Hunter?
Well, just to say that when I was initially appointed to the board, I was immediate past president of the Oak Hills Athletic Boosters, and I did resign that position at that point in time because I did view it as a conflict of interest.
Mr. Ryland?
We certainly don't have a Little Highlanders Association. Do obviously work for Hewlett Packard, so obviously I would have to abstain from anything to do with the purchase of HP hardware. Make that clear now that that's going to happen. I am a PTA president, and so we'll have to make a decision on what to do from there. Obviously, a lot of association with the presidencies for the PTA, and then, of course, highly involved in a lot of the other activities of the PTA, which I hope still be able to continue as a volunteer organization. So, thank you.
This next question is for Mrs. Hunter. What do you consider your greatest accomplishment as a board president?
Good question. I would probably say the transfer of the Ensign Village, which occurred while I was president, and that's been about 9 years ago. That transfer has allowed the school district to do many types of permanent improvements that would not have necessarily been able to accomplish. It also kept us off of the levy ballot for a number of years as well. So I would have to say that's the greatest accomplishment.
Thank you. Mr. Ryland, did you want to respond?
You know, I will, and I have to echo the Permanent Improvement Fund. I was a member of the Finance Committee at the time. I actually taught some of the Choosing Financial Stability classes here. And while I know anytime you're increasing taxes on everybody, which that did do, that's a tough thing to do, but it was the best way to get the smallest increase in the taxes, transfer some of the increased load for financials back to the state of Ohio. And it was a really new thing at the time. Several districts have since gone and done the same